I'll break down sort of like how an artist normally would get paid from like a live show or a tour experience, and then I'll break down how we sort of attack that model and how vertical integration applies in a live space. So typically, a company, i.e., let's just say first an artist wants to go on a tour. An artist has an agent. That agent then says, "Hey, this artist is going on tour." And they reach out to promoters to essentially buy maybe the whole tour, and it's just like promoted by one company or individual promoters in certain markets, right? And they buy into a tour and they give that artist a guarantee.
That would be like an AEG or Live
Yeah,
Nation?
AEG or Live Nation is
Okay.
the two big examples of this. And the agents are people like CAA, ICM. So the agent says this artist fee is, let's just say, $20,000. So that artist shows up, performs, people buy tickets, and they get their $20,000 and they leave, right? Now, that's normal, but the thing that the artist doesn't benefit from with that is the consumer data, as well as things like the sales of concessions, and that's like food and bar revenue. So how we flip that idea on its head is we don't ask for a guarantee for people to come to our shows. We just rent the venues, assume all the risk for the venue rental, and then we pay the venue whatever the fee is, and then we control the ticketing. And when people buy the tickets from us, we retain that consumer data, and we're able to remarket and talk to those people, the next time we come and do a show. The thing with an artist, when they come in, to a venue, if they want to come back, the only way that they can like stay in that same venue or move to a bigger venue is essentially if they're like hot, right? So you have to remain hot. You have to have songs on the radio. You have to, be doing all this stuff on Instagram and social media. And with us, we don't have to have any of that. We just have to keep doing more shows essentially and build our consumer base. And that just adds to the amount of people that we are able to then notify the next time that we come to the city.
Yeah, that was like what you were saying earlier when you were getting the RSVPs.
Mm-hmm.
It was free, but the data was what you really wanted because you
Absolutely.
can collect it and tell people about the events that you're doing.
Yep.
Right? Now, what you're doing now is, and you said this in your article, was like when an artist is hot, it's easy to, get booked for a show, but maybe 5-10 years when they're not, they don't have the clientele to even know who their audience is.
They don't even know who their audience is. Exactly. Like they're using all these third-party tools essentially, right? And, we all know with Instagram, when you make a post, not every one of your followers is going to see that, right? And it's the same thing with an artist. When you sell, but it's even worse, right? Because like that's the most important people that you need to be able to communicate with. Why? Because those are the people that are literally paying you, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are the ones that's an actual consumer versus just a follower, right? Somebody who's paid to go and see your show. You're telling me like, if I'm an artist and I'm not able to talk to those people, that's insane to me. But you give it up when you take a guarantee and you allow somebody else to assume the risk. But the thing is that, and here's the real catch is where, like, the more tickets that these large companies sell, right? They're businesses, right? They're just building their database. So now, if they have 3 R&B artists that they've done shows with in the past, it's like they can just market the next R&B artist to because these people are interested in this, right? And they're just huge troughs of data essentially. These large promoters, and but people just think that this is the only way that it can be done because for so many years it's been done like this, and people haven't like. The thing that's happened in music is we've seen a influx of people taking a stand and becoming independent on the recorded music side, right? And so a lot of these artists that you see that they're saying like, I'm independent, I don't want to sign a label deal, blah, blah, blah. Yes, they are independent on their maybe on their recorded music, but please believe that the new record label is just like, the Live Nations and the AEGs of the world. And like they're still in these touring deals.
Yeah.
And they're not really independent when it comes to their live operation. And again, there's nothing I'm not downplaying, I'm not talking bad about the AEGs and Live Nations of the world by any means. But I think that true independence is being independent in every single
especially
aspect.
especially if that's where most of the money's coming from. Like they're not
Yeah.
making as much money from the
They're
recording.
not. Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
making it from when you tour, right? So
Yeah.
like, thinking of the long term play where it's like, you know what, I could take this upfront money now, or long term I can get the data and now I know my fan base going 10, 15, maybe 20 years where I can still perform in these cities.
Absolutely.